Hey, it's the Empire, Geoboxing Empire, Baxter Boxing. Now, I was sleeping yesterday and I had a dream. A dream that Tyson Fury was fighting a softball. And I was like, hey, I can't see his face. Is that Luis King Kong Ortiz? And I was like, nah, it's not. It's my boy Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. You guys see the photo, man. My boy Deontay Wilder training southpaw. I seen him hitting the mitts and I got a glimpse of it. And I was like, okay, he's throwing a jab from a southpaw stance. That right hand, you can tell by positioning of Deontay Wilder that Wilder is throwing that right hand from a southpaw stance. And is he training for Tyson Fury in a southpaw stance? What would that do to Tyson Fury? How would he deal with it? Now, Deontay Wilder, I have footage of him training southpaw before. Now, he was fucking around in a hotel room, but he's fought southpaw before fucking around, right? He doesn't just do this for fun. He does it for, boxing. This is what he does. He's professional, right? Tied Muhammad Ali's record, bronze medalist, all title defenses by knockout, including the Tyson Fury draw. That was a KO. I don't care what nobody says, right? This is a perfectionist. A perfectionist in the sport of boxing, and Malik Scott is training him. Now, watching Deontay Wilder, a glimpse of him training southpaw was all I needed to know that Deontay Wilder is leaving no stone unturned in this Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder trilogy. Now, they're already promoting this fight, man. I've seen promotions under Top Rank. I've seen promotions under PBC. They did press conferences differently, right? Deontay Wilder is being interviewed by PBC podcast, and Tyson Fury is being interviewed by BT Sports on their conference. They actually had a conference because they don't have a podcast, because I'm not sure if they could have one. their roster is not as deep as the PBC, so the PBC got a lot more to talk about. But all that being said, man, Deontay Wilder, God knows how strong his straight left is, because, I mean, could you imagine the power of Deontay Wilder's straight left? But worse yet, can you imagine the power of Deontay Wilder's jab from his softball stance? It would be a heavy jab, to say the least. This would be the most powerful jab in boxing history, in my opinion. Now, a lot of people will say there's a lot of heavyweight fighters with really good jabs. Yeah, but there's different variations of jabs. There's snappy jabs, and then there's power jabs. And Deontay Wilder has the hardest right hand in boxing history. So if he goes southpaw, can Tyson Fury really jab with Deontay Wilder, right? Can he hook with Deontay Wilder? Because Deontay Wilder is naturally right-handed. So if his power hands are front, what would Tyson Fury really do, right? What would he really do? So this is just it's hard to put into words the fear in Tyson Fury's face when he goes southpaw, and that being Deontay Wilder. Now, I know some fighters in the camp. I seen Robert Helenius said he's going to Deontay Wilder's camp, right? I already linked the video a long time ago talking about Robert Helenius. I might have it in the description so you guys can watch it. But Robert Helenius already talked about how he's going to Deontay Wilder's camp. So there's no doubt in my mind that Deontay Wilder's got elite top guys in his camp, much like Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury said, when he was fighting Deontay Wilder and he caught COVID, he was training with Efe Ajaba and Jared Anderson, the biggest name under Top Rank, right? Those are the two biggest names under Top Rank outside of Tyson Fury at heavyweight. So that being said, the PBC has a long roster of heavyweights. You don't think that Deontay Wilder has the same amount of list of heavyweights in his camp to make sure Deontay Wilder has everything he needs to be, pro bono? That being said, man, who knows? Maybe Luis Ortiz is in camp. Maybe he's getting trained by the Cuban too. God knows, man. God knows. All I know is this is late footage of Deontay Wilder training right-handed. The picture I gave you guys, this is new pictures. That means he's still doing it. There comes a time where you train something so much that the training becomes reality and you actually do it in the ring, right? He's going to actually do it in the ring, and I think he's going to do it against Tyson Fury. He's not going to wait and do it against some bums. This is the time to do it. Tyson Fury is more technical than Deontay Wilder, right? He moves better than Deontay Wilder, right? He's longer than Deontay Wilder, taller than Deontay Wilder, but Deontay Wilder has power. He has power, and in the first fight, he was able to fight pretty well against Tyson Fury. A lot of people said Tyson Fury completely dominated him, but that's not what I saw when I seen that fight. Tyson Fury was very hesitant to really engage Deontay Wilder, and when he did, Deontay Wilder was trading with him. There wasn't a moment where Tyson Fury was just completely hitting Deontay Wilder whenever he wanted to, because if he did, he would have tried to stop the guy, but he didn't, because Deontay Wilder always fired back, right? So we're gonna see how this whole thing plays out with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, man. A lot of people are saying that Tyson Fury was gonna pull out the fight, and it's looking like just too much money on the line, man, for Tyson Fury to do something like that, right? Win, lose, or draw, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua is always going to be a big fight in the UK, much like Kell Brook and Amir Khan. So we're going to see how this whole thing plays out, man. That might be an all-British showdown between AJ and Tyson Fury, or it might be in Saudi Arabia, whoever has more money. It's funny because people keep saying how they want to see the heavyweight division move on. But, man, listen, if AJ fights Tyson Fury, that fight is not going to happen in the UK. I seen Tyson Fury with the Habib on, or whatever the fuck they wear in their heads, in the Middle East, and that motherfucker was ready to go to over there to Iraq or Saudi Arabia or wherever they're gonna fight in the Middle East. He was shouting out princes out there and everything. It was funny. So people in the UK talking that we want to see the heavyweight division move on, bro. You're not gonna see them fight in your country. They're gonna be fighting in some foreign land that most likely you can't travel to. Right, you got to get a passport to go to those kind of places, right? And they have extreme restrictions on what you can and cannot do, because those are Muslim nations, So, the idea that the heavyweight division is going to quote unquote move on is ridiculous. Not only is Tyson Fury going to fight Anthony Joshua, win, lose, or draw. If Tyson Fury win, lose, or draw, they're most likely going to fight more than once. I guarantee it. This is not going to be a one and done type thing. How Tyson Fury is going to fight AJ and that's going to be it. No, they're going to be fighting each other multiple times. So, yeah, man, anyone in the UK talking this, I want Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury to fight each other so the heavyweight division can move on. Man, listen, that fight is going to feel so foreign and so out of reach. It might as well be Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, because at least you can go to America, to Vegas or New York or wherever they're going to fight and see the fight. But chances you going to Saudi Arabia or the Middle East, I mean, come on. Come on. It might be fun, but you're not going to have the same freedoms as you will in America, right? You can't go out. You can't, I'm not sure if they got clubs in Saudi Arabia, but, the girls they have to wear things on their head and everything. You know how it goes over there in the Middle East. Too restrictive. And why not watch two fighters fight who you can see them fight? And Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, they're going to be fighting in America. They're going to be fighting in America or Britain. Fighting in the UK is most likely won't happen. It just won't happen. I never heard of Deontay Wilder ever fighting in the UK. in the Middle East. I don't think he ever will. That's just not a market for him. Anthony Joshua has Middle Eastern ties, so he has big clout over there in the Middle East. I'm not going to get into AJ's religious background, but that's why he has ties to the Middle East. But yeah, man, this Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder fight is going to be a big one, man. My boy Deontay Wilder fighting SOUTHPAW. Tyson Fury, what will he do? Is Deontay Wilder straight left better than Tyson Fury straight right? We're gonna see. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Anyway, man, let me know what you guys feel about it, though. Deontay Wilder fighting SOUTHPAW. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. Let me know what you guys feel about it, though. Like, comment, subscribe. It's the Empire. GAWD Empire. Peace.